Joining us now is Theo Zanu. He's a journalist and historian, as well as a visiting fellow at Australian National University. Thank you so much for being with me, Theo. How are you doing this evening?
Very well. It's
you're in
morning over
London.
here
You're in
London.
London. I thought you were in Australia. There we go. It's good to see you.
No. Likewise.
In my hometown. A laureate offering her medal to a sitting US president. It seems unprecedented in the history of the Nobel Peace Prize. How extraordinary is this moment?
Well, it isn't unprecedented, and it is extraordinary. Previous laureates have sold off their medals because they needed the money, or they wanted to donate to charity, or they donated to a specific cause, but they've never given it up as a tribute to the US president. This is totally new.
You have described this as Machado having very few options left, with the Trump administration effectively cutting her out. Was this just a calculated move to force her way back into relevance?
Yes, and it was a smart move, in fact. It's easy to criticize her from the comfort of her living rooms and to say, why did you go to the White House and bow to the emperor and donate him your Nobel Peace Prize? But the truth is, she fought for years for freedom and democracy in our country at great personal risk, okay? Now that something has finally happened in Venezuela, it looks like the Chavez-Maduro regime will stay in place. So she has to make a move. Her only play is to get back to the White House, is give Trump this prize, which he's been craving for years. So it's very shrewd on her part, and it shows great humility. It's this cause of Venezuela means much more to her than any medal, no matter how prestigious it might be.
On the US side of things, how do you think this was received inside the Trump administration? Was it genuinely welcomed?
I mean, if Trump can get his medal, then he'll get his medal. Fundamentally, it's not going to make a huge difference in the calculus of the Trump administration. What they're looking for in Venezuela really is stability. So the country doesn't descend into a civil war. American companies can roll back in, they can extract oil, and they can make deals with the regime. Machado is not going to give them that in the short term, but from her point of view, she was just looking to get a meeting, and this was the only bargaining chip she had.
The Nobel Committee has now been very clear that the prize and the laureate can't be split up. How does Trump accepting a medal actually damage his ambition of maybe winning a Nobel Peace Prize in the future?
Well, never say never, but I'd say it's pretty much over for him and the Nobel Peace Prize. Because at this point, not only has he been openly campaigning for this thing for years, which is frowned upon, he's tried to pressure the Nobel Committee and say, you got to give it to me, you got to give it to me. And they also hate that. And now, although he didn't receive it, he's basically found a way to get it nonetheless. So at this point, we can write him off. And the Norwegians are very, very mad at that. They feel disrespected. They feel that he's entitled. And no matter what achievement might lie in the future for him, whether that's a peace deal in Gaza, they will overlook him.
Do you think that this moment drastically changes anything for Venezuela? Or was the real win here simply securing a meeting and this huge media attention? I mean, we're talking about it now.
Yes, this is a real win, frankly, and it's Machado's win. Trump here is simply taking advantage of the situation to get a photo up. But Machado needed to make a move. She made her move. So now, hopefully for her, this has secured her further access into the administration. But this is really a long-term move. It's unlikely that anything will happen in the coming days, weeks, or even months. But perhaps it's allowed her back into the orbit. She can make connections, she can plead her case, and she can, when the time comes, be there for a transition government back to a democracy in Venezuela.
Okay. I really enjoyed that. That was great. Theo Zanu in my hometown of London. Thank you so much for now. Appreciate it.
All right, be well.
Thank you. Okay.